Yo, ladies and gents, Booma here, and welcome back to replay analysis for every rank in the game. If you guys are new to this series, welcome in. These videos are catered to how a top 64 RLCS player would analytically break down and optimize the gameplay for these ranks. So today we're going to have a Grand Champ 2 replay to go over. Before we go into that, I just want to remind you guys that I am a streamer over on Twitch. If you guys want to talk to me or ask me questions in real time, or even see me play different games, come stop on over for the vibes. I am also a coach for Rocket League. If you guys are interested in getting coaching from me, join the Discord and check out the coaching section there. The links will be in the description below. But without further ado, let's get right into this. Okay, so we got Rambo here for today's replay. He's been 1657 GC2 peak before. He's around 4K hours in the game, and he's trying to push GC3. So we're going to take a look here, see what we got. Looks like he has a Season 1 Supersonic Legend on his team. This looks like it's a start of the season game. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I know what GC2 looks like at the start of the season. It is either very sweaty or very messy. And we have our first goal in 7 seconds. Looks like both players on the blue team made a mistake. For those of you guys that are new or new to this series, or you have not seen me do coaching on stream or gotten coaching from me before, I typically do one clean watch through of the entire game just to see what we're looking at, what we're working with, what the level of play looks like, and we have another goal just a few seconds later. So poor defense from both teams. It potentially might be a high scoring game. I'm not sure. It doesn't really look like it. Looks like goals pretty periodically throughout the game. Very sloppy from both teams at this current point in time. No one's really taking control of the ball. It's going to be a trend within the Grand Champ ranks. I feel like that is truly what separates Supersonic Legends is the consistency in all areas of the pitch. I have a 2v1 scenario here. Not really played the best by the orange team, but they do get the demo. And Rambo has been my Twitch mod for a while. He's been around my community for a long time. So he has received coaching from me quite a few times. And I know he's still been trying to push up into those higher ranks. When he first joined my stream, he was probably around like Champ 2, Champ 3 rank. He was really struggling to get GC1. And I kind of coached him through that. He ended up getting GC1 comfortably. And I believe like season 9 or season 10 of free to play. I can't really remember. I apologize to Rambo if I'm incorrect on that, but definitely got Grand Champion one of the later seasons. And now he comfortably can sit at 1600. It's just this rank becomes easily one of the ranks that people get stuck at. 1600 I want to say start of the season is a little sweatier just because, you know, you'll have most of the high level players reset to that rank in 2v2. And towards mid to like late season, if you're in 1600, typically it's the people who are stuck there. And they need to figure out what separates them from a Grand Champ 3. So we're going to be going in depth today. Talk about every single type of situation we possibly can in this game. I want to give the best optimal tips for Grand Champ 2 players. This is going to be, I'd imagine, very similar to the GC1 replay we did the other day. Just because Grand Champ ranks tend to lack lots of control, lots of decisiveness. And there's still a lot of game sense missing. Like that challenge there, we definitely don't need to be forcing that. Leave our teammate in a 2v1 on an overcommit. There's things we need to be actively thinking about. I do believe this rank is achievable just based off mechanical skill. You'll find a lot of players down here that have like SSL level mechanics, but they do not have the game sense whatsoever. And this has also become, like I said in the video before, the biggest mixed jelly bean bag of players you can get. You can get people who can creep up here end of season. You can get players who are hard stuck here for seasons. You can get players who are new here. It becomes very much the rank that is drastic to the extreme in how many different types of playstyles you can find down here. Like, for instance, you have a Season 1 Supersonic Legend. Probably hasn't played the game in a minute. He does not look like he has maintained that SSL level quality gameplay. So I would imagine this is somebody who had taken a break from the game. And I keep seeing him on the low boost all over the place. Looks like he's very reliant on those big boosts. Rambo just trying to match the pacing of this. Oof. Could have been a good double beat. He still gets the bump, gets another bump. So for me, when I look at these games, if I was going to optimize, any of these Grand Champ ranks, there's too much happening. There's too much, and people are trying to do too much. Where I think an efficient and simplified player would make the difference in these lobbies, just because if you're able to pick the correct decisions and be in the right position to do these things, these games would be a lot easier. At least when I get reset to this rank at the start of the season, I play very, very simple, because you can punish people just with good positioning, just like there. The mistakes will happen, and I do believe that Grand Champ 2 struggles with damage control. I tell people all the time that mistakes are going to happen no matter what rank you're in Rocket League. Even SSL players make mistakes. Even professional players make mistakes. It is a skill to learn what to do after those mistakes. How do you react? How do you adapt after those mistakes happen? Like this. We definitely do not need to be hitting that away. We had a triple commit from Rambo's teammate and the two orange players, which means Rambo would have had all the time in the world to just take control of that ball and settle it, switch it to the open space, play to the boost, and instead he ended up hitting it back into his corner, back towards the other player. One big trend I see in this rank is we like to play into our opponents and force. So we're going to try to get players to stop doing that. So that is our first clean watch through of the game. It's not crazy scoreline. I think there are tons of opportunities all over the field during this game. We're just, unfortunately, no one's in the right spot for it. So now we're going to go back. We're going to talk about why all these goals go in. So this is a post-kickoff situation. I'm not sure if he had an input mistake on the cheat. It looks like it. Looks like he doesn't flip. And then he doesn't react well enough. You need to wait for this interaction to happen. And then right, you already know you're not going to get to this just because the other guy maintained his cheat all the way through. So there's no point of you flipping for this ball at all. You should be turning immediately and either grabbing that mid boost or contesting the back boost. Now in this position, I think this flip is a little bit troll. Something I will talk about in a video in the future will be why you shouldn't just be flipping around the field aimlessly. This commits your positioning and commits your momentum one direction. So this type of play here, let's see how this develops. So you go on a back post rotate, you go up the backboard, and then it's a goal. So this is what I'm saying. It's a mistake on the kickoff, and then nobody is covering the correct things. So you know that your teammate just went for the kickoff, so he's most likely not going to have boost. The best spot to help him, let's look at what you're seeing. This you are not getting to, and you are not going to be able to contest it. He is clearly first with the ball. In my thought process of this situation, I want to know where this guy is. You need to get the information because the threat here, he could try to go for a doomsy, but your teammate is covering the low. Meaning in 2v2, you could go stack, right, and play a two-layered defense while your teammate gets the low, but your teammate doesn't have any boost. So, in the best way possible, I would have liked to see you slow down, not flip. You don't have to, I don't mean slow down. You don't need to be going supersonic. You can use your boost to, take up a spot here. This way, kind of do like a top box rotate. You could have even rotated like, patrol this kind of area. Either way, your teammate's going to go back to the net regardless. So here, you'd be watching, if a doomsy attempt happens, and your teammate will most likely have a 50. He has a penny, so he can jump, right? If the doomsy happens, you can pick up the 50 wherever it spills. If he gets dunked, there's nothing you possibly could have done. If the ball does come down to this point on the wall, right, maybe you could jump for it, but it's still going to be risky. I'd be more threatened by this player right here. This is like a clear pass down for me. At least how the guy is, you know, he's not jumped, he's not boosted, he's not done anything. So in my head, he's passing, right? And so now you've already committed, and now your teammate also commits to the backboard. So you guys have a double commit, and then no one's covering this. Which if you just had momentum, right, coming like here, this is an easy ball for you to dust. You could be underneath this ball and had double jumped for it, or you can play the 50 down low here, right? It is a very good pass from him. It's straight, direct, it's down, it's across the face of the net. So you would have to be maintaining your momentum from where you were all the way across to save this. But either way, I would have preferred you did that besides just full sunning up the backboard. And it probably wouldn't have been a goal against you guys off the rip. I do remember, I think you guys get it back pretty quickly. It's another post-kickoff situation. Your teammate ends up... What does he do? He ends up forcing a 50 very early. This ball ends up coming back to you. Which, it's an okay pop. It looks like you struggled just a little bit. And it's just because your timing of the pop, you want to be popping that as soon as it hits the floor. So you should be boosting towards this. In my head, I would be watching Jinwoo in this position. You want to be able to get to this ball while it is still in your advantage. In your advantage, I mean it's still rolling towards you, and Jinwoo is still falling. Meaning he would have to burn all of his boost to contest this, which he didn't lunge. He knows that he's beat, so he turns away. I would just wish you would have been there as soon as the ball bounced. You would have got a much better pop than this. You try to go up, light touch to yourself. Your teammate is almost throwing, going off the ceiling, trying to redirect that. He almost dunks you. So if I was going to give this guy advice, definitely do not be doing that. That is not the play. And you are overcommitting heavily here if this guy dunks Rambo, right? So I think he knows that. He might be trolling. I don't know. I don't see why a Season 1 Supersonic Legend would be down in 1600, but besides, unless it started the season and he's just kind of there. That makes sense, but well done to get another goal. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so we have a little hesitation here. Trolling the pre-jump. Yeah, okay. Let's see how we get to this situation. In the first place, this is number one tip for any of you who are trying to look at your own replays. Do not look at the immediate mistake. Please go back a few seconds, a few times, tab back a few times, and see how we end up in that situation in the first place. Looks like we go for a challenge that we don't need to be going for. It was an okay force. Your teammate gets the ball, doesn't play the outplay, takes a 50, which is just not the play. So it's a mistake by both of you. In this scenario, let's see how this happens in the first place. There has to be something else earlier. So we have a 2v1 situation right here. I don't know why we're in this rotation of... Here you should be playing the touchback to yourself. You missed the touchback, and then you're not going. Which I don't think you should be inviting the pass play here, because you would not be saving this if Jinwoo shot this on the right side of your net. It would be way too fast for you. You end up getting the boost from them, but you end up dying, unfortunately. Panic touch away from yourself. I'm not sure where your teammate is in this. I haven't seen him once since you were demoed. Let me take a look at what he's doing. So he leaves you in the 2v1. He doesn't rotate, to cover anything. He could have been chasing Jinwoo out of that shooting position. And then here he needs to... it's a poor 50. Panic touch away. And he goes backward here. Sees you force and then takes the ball on himself. Like, why not flick here? This is what I'm saying. When players receive a possession and the opponent is giving them an outplay, he was way too close here. Just flick it over him. He ends up just taking a 50. And the issue with taking 50s like this is if you can't follow it up yourself, it requires your teammate to follow up. Meaning this would leave Rambo in a spot where he is then forced to follow this up. And you know that you're beat. This ball is going towards Doodle. The only issue is you pre-jump instead of sticking facing the play, right? Right here, you made the right turn. You could have turned in and just single jumped. He didn't pop it very high at all. And even if he had gotten a touch over you, your teammate most likely is behind you to get that touch, to receive that touch. He doesn't have a lot of boost, but this interaction happens late just because you pre-jumped it and you pre-jumped it stiff. So this is a troll challenge by you. But we definitely could have done better to keep the possession from both of you before you got into that spot. We got a goal coming up here. Nearly a pass play. Let him force it, and that's a goal. Okay. So this is scoreable. Right here, I'm not sure what you're looking at, but Jinwoo troll jumps. I don't know if you can see that on the left side of the screen. He troll jumps. Like, he's about to jump for this, and then he comes back down. Meaning, you're first at this ball. You jumped so early, if you pay attention to that. This is another habit that I feel like all Grand Champs have. Jumping way too early or something like this. And it was wide open. So, if you had just boosted and continued boosting and then jump and play the beat, you're definitely going to score that. This is fine. It looks like you were trying to look for some type of control. You end up playing into him, and he just takes like the worst 50 possible. He rushes a 50, which this is exactly the plays that I'm talking about. And not only that, he takes it with the side of his car, so it just goes straight off to the sidewall and sets up your teammate. Good positioning from your teammate, I guess. Ooh, let's take a look here. Post-kickoff situation. Ooh, yeah, pinch 50. You turn and made yourself awkward. So, two pieces of advice for a situation like this. First of all, these pinch 50s are like a plague in Grand Champ. I will say that for sure. Every time I've done Grand Champ replay analysis, I see these uncontrolled like pinch 50s all over the place. I mean, it happens. But the issue with why this is preventable for me is because you are in the right position. And I think these pennies are a good indicator where you should just be chilling. Like right here is fine. But you can see you continue driving out of your position. So the problem that I see here is what I will call R2 syndrome or RT syndrome, depending on what controller you play. And that's you're just holding your drive button. Like you're just Sunday driving forward. When in reality, you should just be chilling kind of like here and wait for the interaction to happen, right? Then once this 50 happens, obviously this is uncomfortable for you. And you would have been in a much better spot if you were just a little bit further back. And then you could be playing this bounce right here, which this guy gave you an outplay if you just touched around him. Now your problem here is you hesitated and then you decided to go again. I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice. If you at any point in a game like this, you hesitate for this ball, do not go again. Just go back. Just play defense. Because this is just not... You're like... You miss your first initial touch and then you go back for it. And then like this player is always just going to have the advantage. He does a good job just single jumps and then catches it low. And even if you did get a piece on it, he would have low 50'd you. So... no point in jumping there. Obviously, unfortunate 50 from your teammate, but you definitely could have been prepared for it. And then this. We just don't need to be forcing this. I want to see how this situation happens in the first place. Right, so you force a 50, you demo one, and you flip out and are looking for demo on the same guy. Yeah, so like I said in the video before this one, 2v2 in its simplest form is 2 1v1s, or you work together, get one player out of the play, and then you isolate one. Now, you want to also make the game as easy as possible for your teammate. That is like the #1 priority, especially when you don't have the possession. Please just be trying to make your teammate's life easier. I promise you guys, you will do so much better if you focus with that mindset. So right here, you're forcing something. First of all, that doesn't need to happen. Like, you don't need to force this 50, especially away from yourself. Look at what this player is doing. He doesn't have control of this. maybe you thought he would have had like a pogo or something. Let's just say this challenge is fine. Okay. Now this, you end up getting a demo. This is where we need to have better awareness, better spatial awareness, better awareness for the scenario. So you have to be thinking to yourself after this demo, what does this play look like to you? It's a free ball for your teammate. And Jinwoo, so the other orange player who's still alive in the play, is still recovering, right? There's no reason you should be flipping out here. In my head, what's gonna happen? You're gonna go demo the guy you just demoed? Yeah, but what is this guy gonna do after his teammate just gets demoed? He's gonna chase your fucking teammate down. Either get the ball off. He's making his teammate's life easier who just got demoed. So in my head, instead of flipping out of the play and going for the guy you just demoed again, why not continue? Go follow Jinwoo. You have more than enough boost to turn right back around and shield the play, off the ball movement, off the ball plays. You can shield your teammate from this player, and your teammate doesn't even see him. Unfortunately, that's why he gets blindsided. He's looking for some type of control because he thinks this. I mean, he's a little slow, a little stagnant. But right here, especially when he jumps off the wall, you could have been right there when he lands, and you could have blown him up. Then what that does? Let's say Jinwoo is taken out of the play. I'm gonna pitch a hypothetical for you guys. Let's say you come back here and you demo him after you get this mid boost, right? Or after you get the demo mid, you turn back around, you catch him when he lands. He lands right here. So let's just X him out right here. So he's no longer in the play. This now gives your teammate all this space and all this time with the ball. He can take this touch like he does. Take another touch right here. And then this guy spawns over here. And now your teammate has a hook shot opportunity. Your teammate has, if right after you demo this player down here, you can occupy the space over here. And now he has a pass option right across the net. You guys have a 2v1 scenario in my head, right? Anything could happen. Or you could go bump this guy. After you bump this guy, after you demo this guy, you could have triple demo play. But instead, because you leave the play and you leave it up to RNG. You left the play up to RNG, meaning you decided instead of staying in the play and guaranteeing free open space and a free ball for your teammate, you went off and tried to guess which way this guy was going to spawn. So optimize your scoring opportunities as much as you possibly can, please. And then this wouldn't happen. And now look, we concede all this space. We're in a 1v2, which you can't do anything. You have to buy time for your teammate now. You have to make your teammate's life easier. And this challenge is not it. It's just not it. You just tank that 50, you leave him in a 2v1, and he doesn't go. And he makes himself awkward. He spawns in, he's just like, you know, full flip forward. He gets a few pennies, and he's still driving forward. Even as he can see, there's you're beat to this challenge, and the player is literally about to flip the ball down middle. He's still driving forward. So, Grand Champ players, do not be just holding your drive button all over the field. It makes it so much easier to take advantage of a player who's just like cruising like that. You need to have efficiency in your movements. You need to have awareness of what's going on in the play. Good demo here. We're trying to chase down. I just want to see where some of the opportunities were. Ooh. Pinch across. This is it's a little better of a volley right here. And it seems like everybody's playing like a ones game, which technically you can play like that, but you want to be working together to get these players out of the play to open up space for each other. 2v2. The reason professionals love playing 2v2 is because at its peak form, or I should say at the highest level, it becomes it becomes scenarios that are part of 3v3. So cutting the play, working the space, opening up space for your teammate, creating plays, being able to outplay two players, right? defending these high pressure defensive situations where you're getting demo chased, your people are sweeping across your goal, right? People are doing mech plays and you have to worry about disruptor plays. Like, this is all stuff that you would find in 3v3 scenarios. So at its highest form in professional play, it is very much being able to switch from offense to defense within a few touches of the ball, and not making these goofy mistakes, but also punishing any mistake if there are any, right? These are things that professional players love to do, and in twos it becomes like a controlled like ball chasing, essentially, until space is opened up, and then it's to practice the decision making in those spaces. And in these kind of ranks, 2v2 just looks like chaos. It literally looks like chaos. So it looks like we're forcing a bang here, which, like, in my head, you're not paying attention to what the other team's doing. There's no one challenging you here, so why hit it away from yourself? This is where you have time to take control. You have time to create, time to make a play. You know, bait somebody in. You should. Another great tip, which shout out Ronskian. He is another RLCS coach. He has given some advice to Unky. You guys know Unky from my stream. He's my teammate. And there's something that Ronskian kind of gave Unky, and he was like, you should give yourself a point system. You know, when you watch your own replays back, give yourself a point for like an outplay. Give yourself a point for like a successful 50, a pass. You know, if you get a player out of the play, right? And you want value from what you're trying to accomplish in the play. This does nothing. I would give 0 points for this. You just gave the ball to the other team. You didn't get any of the players out. Okay, maybe you got somebody up. I don't know why he's jumping for that. He doesn't need to jump for that. He just burned like 100 boosts. So maybe you get 1 point for that. And then your teammate scores it. Like, but the only reason your teammate scores it is because this guy didn't, like, he's not playing that bounce. He's supersonic when his teammate's already up. He's going up the backboard. He's coming down the backboard. Like, it's just indecisive. And then he jumps for this with no information. He doesn't know, like, he didn't check at all if either of you are up. He's just ball watching, and then this touch is awkward. He's looking straight at the ceiling, so he has no information on if anybody's up in the play. And then he jumps like this. And then he realizes, oh, I'm beat. Coming down. And then expects his teammate to have it. So this to me is just, it's like, it's a mess. So I would really like to see way more efficiency in the Grand Gem ranks. And it would be a lot better off. So there's almost your equalizer. Let's look at the last few opportunities right here at the end, because I want you guys have 46 seconds. That's way more than enough time to get yourselves, you know, an equalizer here. So like right here, we're just banging it. We're rushing it. When you have a perfect setup to actually create something, right? You have essentially an isolation play right here. One of these players is not getting boost in time, especially if you play this efficiently enough. By the time Jinwoo gets to this mid boost, you could have already had a touch, you know, pop off the wall and had a pre-flip touch or catch, you know, towards your teammate, towards the net. You could be threatening something much more threatening than this. But you just end up hitting it away, and then neither of you want to challenge. There you go. Now you can't follow it because you went to net. There's a okay, now this. This is a freebie in my head. This is literally a freebie. So the one mistake that you make is after you get a touch like this, you didn't wait to just check. If you just looked, instead of being so like locked in, like tunnel vision on this ball, you would have just turned your ball cam off for a second. You'd see all three of them are jumping. So you wouldn't have jumped it in the first place if you saw that. And you could have just still been chilling right here, right where you jumped, right? Then once this happens, boom, you come over here, and you're playing this pop. You're popping this right here, or you're banging it. Like either way, you have a one-on-one situation with Jinwoo, but instead you jumped for this and you played it back to this corner where this guy's landing on the boost, which you don't have to do. Let's say you still jump for it. Okay. Now, you know, all 3 players just went, and they're in the air, meaning you're first to this ball. Just drive over here and catch it. Catch it, and take it to the open space where there's no player occupying this space. Now you have a free 1v1 isolation with Jinwoo, and you have this entire part of the field to just play 1v1. But instead, we panic because it's like, oh my god, it's a mess, or they hit it around me, or my teammate's gonna touch it, or this guy's gonna touch it again, like, and then we just hit it away. So the biggest thing for me right now in these Grand Champ 2 replays is the lack of awareness. We really are this entire lobby is guilty of it. No one's really paying attention to what the advantage is, or... And then let's see. Little force pass to teammate. Teammate gets demoed. Gotta close the space. This challenge is fine. Unfortunate demo. Go demo him. Go again. Okay, be ready to follow. Yeah, and then we're just not ready to follow up. It's just it's very awkward. Oh, there you like here you gotta be expecting somebody to chow. This is like, I want to make a video so bad on players they don't utilize car cam enough, especially when you're about to dribble, and especially when you're like, you cannot be in ball cam right here. It makes it like you only get a glimpse of him now, and you have not even jumped or prepped your flick. So, but that's something that's like a game sense thing. You have to expect that someone's gonna be here ready to chow you. Like, as soon as you take this touch, front flip flick, early flick, insta flick, you get one out play, and then you guys could add a 2v1 right there. So more than enough opportunities for you guys towards the end of this game. And unfortunate that we don't equalize, especially when there were so many good chances. But yeah, so the biggest things that I need GC2s to focus on, awareness, number 1, situational awareness, what the situations call for. If you guys are in these 2v1s, like, it's not a difficult concept. Something that's like a good reminder. When you get players out of the play, just count. Literally just keep tabs in your head. Count them. As soon as somebody like throws themselves, or as soon as you see someone's like, flailing towards a ball, or like this, right? Control touch. If Rambo actually gets the controlled touch up the wall here, then one of them's not gonna be. So there you go. That guy just threw himself. That's one. Like just think that to yourself in your head when you're playing these games, right? Look, that's one. That now your brain should think, I only have one player to beat. I think Rambo knows this. That's why he's trying to like pinch it really quickly. But these are the type of things that you guys need to do, apparently, to recognize what these situations are like, because there's so many advantages that both teams had around this field, and neither of them utilized it because I don't think they knew they had them. Everybody's so focused on like the mechanics or what they're doing when they're on the ball that it's tunnel vision. The other thing I'd like to see is please make the games easier for your teammates. Try to play for your teammates. Help your teammates. I feel like that's probably one of the biggest reasons why Rocket League players argue with their teammates, because they expect their teammates to do things. They expect their teammates to be good. They expect their teammates to be in the right spot. When in reality, you should be making that game easier for your teammate. I can try to find a quick replay from one of my solo queue games at the start of the season. And we'll see how I play with a random. But yeah, that is my 2 biggest tips for GC2 right now. Right, so we'll very quickly, this is literally one of my first games at the start of the season. This is in that exact same MMR range of GC2. This is like 1660 or 1670, if I recall correctly. Looks like we have another SSL player in the lobby. So we're going to see how I handle some of these opportunities. So immediately, like, I'm looking to punish something like this, right? Right here, 1. Carved Artist is out of the play. That's what I'm thinking in my head. 1 is out of the play. He just flipped his momentum. It's going to be a while for him to get back. Right, so if Sunset and I play this quickly enough, which in my head I was thinking he might just, wait, and then I can go demo Mala. But instead he ends up going for mechanical play, which is fine. 1v1 isolation, fine. But I'm playing for what the interaction is afterwards, right? I realistically should be demoed by Carved Artist. I'm not sure where he went afterwards. Like right here, when you're behind the play, you should be making the play from behind, right? Be prepared for, if your teammate tips us up to the backboard, you're gonna have to jump for it. He's still supersonic, which there's absolutely no reason why he should be. And then he's jumping like he break taps and he jumps from low momentum, which in my head, if the timing for that is like the inner clock that I have, if I'm not dead by this point in time, that means I'm going to be first. So I'm already up, single jump and flip. I'm not double jumping. I'm playing a beat. Unfortunately, I end up hitting into the bar. That's fine. Now let's see how this situation pans out. Right, I'm playing in a spot to where I'm ready for any interaction. Okay. Now this is obviously like not a great ball for me, not a great spot. So I immediately am just like there. I play the 50, let my teammate get back. And like this is another anticipation play, right? So I know this pinch is going to be out. If he's not here already, if he's not on that, playing that bounce, right? It's a mistake by this player. This is an advantage for the other player. His teammate just made like a 50 for him, an awkward 50, and for some reason he turns away. This is like poor anticipation of the play. Once this 50 happens, why is he not going for the ball right here? Play that bounce. He's first. He has an outplay touch, or he could set himself up. So in my head, I'm thinking if he's not here already, I have him beat. So I immediately like pre-flip, touch around him. Now I open up the space. It's a goal. So these are the type of situations you guys have to create, translating defense into offense. It's not like crazy complicated either. I'm the one that's caught out here, and I'm the one that's awkward, and I turn into a reverser now. So I'm covering the angle towards the net. This allows my teammate to get back because, he can see, he has a good angle of what this interaction looks like, right? And he knows he can't get it, so he goes to cover the angle towards the net, and then I take up the first man role. And like I said, that's like an anticipation thing. So I know if there's no player there by that point in time, then it's most likely not going to be challenged. So here I already trolled. I turn away on when I could have just had one penny. And then as soon as my teammate forces this big touch away, I could be right there playing that touch off the wall. But instead, I end up going back to the safe, comfortable big boost. And then I don't challenge. He still has to take his touch of control. I could have challenged him there. And I wait just a second. And I get scored on for it, rightfully so. Good outplay from the other player. Let's keep taking a look at these goals. Right, so the issue in this play, my teammate is sitting under the ball. So this interaction ends up being forced late. He should be forcing this ball or forcing this guy to do something with the ball to give me an easier time, to give me a free ball, give me an advantageous challenge, like whatever. But I don't. So he ends up just forcing the ball late, and then I have to jump late. It gives me less time to react, meaning the two-layer defense ends up becoming just one. I'm stranded. I jump for something I shouldn't jump for, and I have to play the bounce. So it just ends up going in the net. This post-kickoff situation, they have a double commit, which I don't know. I don't understand how that happens. It just looks like he hard cheats, like full hard cheats. Yeah, he boosts and he flips, and then he loses the 50, and it's just a goal. Let's take a look at some of these opportunities. So, post-kickoff situation. This is a good time for a solo play, like I was telling Rambo in those last like 30 seconds. He had a opportunity. So right here, pop to myself. I grab one flip reset. See, now by this point in time, by the time I've already gotten the reset, it's still a 1v1. This guy has no boost. Absolutely none. So if it's done at a certain pace, I still know I just have to beat one. Which I tried to play that flip reset early because I knew that's the only guy that has boost. It's the only one that I have to beat. I can see he's about to challenge me, so I use the reset. It's not scoreable, but I can still apply pressure because I have a boost advantage. This player has no boost. So I use whatever boost I have left. And I end up grabbing that corner boost from him. This allows me to stay on the ball and go again for another 1v1 scenario. And you can see they're very awkward. This puts so much pressure on them, and I just can't get around the pancake. on the reset, which is unfortunate. And my teammate is in the worst spot possible. He's not anticipating what's going to happen in this play. He was about to go full speed right here. He can see that I clearly have this ball again. And he goes up the wall and starts boosting towards it. This is like the awareness check that I'm talking about. And then once this happens, he's still not paying attention. He's not gathering information. Right here, why would you not prep for like what the situation calls for and face the play? Right? It doesn't matter where he is. He should just be facing the play in a spot where he can follow up. It doesn't matter which one of these spots he wants to pick. Just be facing the play. Right? And he doesn't get the information. So he's just watching. He's ball watching. Then by this point in time, he's still sideways. The other team is backwards. Now, something that could have definitely caught these guys off guard is if I had faked this and he could just single jump and flip a shot into the top part of the net. But because it's solo queue, it's very difficult to do. And then after the reset, he's still driving forward. Still driving forward. And then right here, he could literally just be single jumping and flipping, and he could be dunking that into the top right. He could be shooting that in the bottom. Like, literally, this is a freebie. This is a freebie of a goal. And it's just like we're jumping like this late. Against somebody who has 0 boost. Our teammate has 83 boost. And Mala has like basically none. So these are the advantages I'm talking about. These are the opportunities I'm discussing. It is the inefficiency that is plaguing Grand Champ 2 players at this current point in time. Let's look at the rest of the goals here. That just looks like a isolated 1v1 for a while. Let's see what I do to make my teammates' life easier, right? So this is where I'm playing Disruptor from behind. I've overcommitted. I got the boost. This is a pass opportunity. Now, I see my teammate's boost, and I'm like, I cannot trust everything to him in this spot. There could be a double opportunity. There could be a catch. There could be a bump. Like, I need to do something to make his life easier. So once I see it's floated and this guy's taking his time, he's not playing a beat. He's not playing a pass down. He's not playing a hard shot. He's playing the double, which is troll. It's troll because it's a 2v1. It's an inefficient man advantage play. This allows me to recover and get back into the play. I get in front of him, I bump him and the ball. And this is what my teammate sees, right? He's 2v1 stranded alone. He's not going to jump. And then boom. Now, if he has awareness, right, he sees there are 2 players out of the play. What does that mean? Bang. There you go. 2 players out of the play for a while. 1v1 scenario. This guy's half flipping, so he has all the time in the world. And unfortunately, he takes the worst decision possible and just rips a shot. He could literally take the control of this ball and do whatever. Like, this is like a time where you could dribble, you could flick, you could air dribble, bump, you could single jump and flip into this guy. He has all the time in the world to do what he wants. And he could have let me recover, and we could have had a 2v1. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm very passionate when it comes to these things, but it is a little annoying for me, especially at the start of the season when you have to deal with stuff like this. I'm not sure why this ends up being a goal again. It's just a spilled touch from them, it looks like. So, right, keeping the ball close to myself, take a 50. This guy just ends up unfortunately being there, and then my teammate's in a good spot to shoot. Well done. And the final goal. Rust shot from the other team, and a guy is turning on something he's beat to. So yeah, that is unfortunate for the orange team, but like it's I think the 3 biggest tips: play for your teammates, awareness for the situational awareness, and please just watch the other players' cards. People talk to me and they ask me questions all the time about, like, how do you know what decision to make? How do you know what this position calls? Watch the other players. Watch the cards. The cards give you all the information you need, right? In this spot here, there's a bump threat from Mala. If I just like land, he's not coming to bump me. I assumed he was coming to bump me, so I just like delayed my, coming down from here for a second. There's no high touch here. And carved art, look how early carved artist jumps. Pay attention to this, right? You might panic for a shot here. Is he going to shoot? He jumps this early, which tells me there's going to be a shot, and the shot's going to be poor because he jumped 10 years early, right? So I don't have to panic. Now I would even recommend I don't flip this away, but I controlled how much I flipped into it. This way the ball is not banged away from me. I flipped it so that's like a controlled pop to myself and I can follow it, right? And now Mala, look how early he turned. As soon as this play happens, right, is he going to go? Is he going to go? He's backwards. Is he going to go? Is he going to go? He's turning. I have the beat. It's single jump and flip. It's not difficult. So, yeah, I'm done ranting. That's going to do it for the Grand Champ 2 replay analysis, ladies and gents. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys found this content enjoyable or helpful, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys check that noti bell and join the Discord to stay up to date with when I post or go live. I appreciate you all tons. Much love as always. I'll see you guys in the next one or on stream. Peace.